morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome. Let us get settled in. And today we're going to talk about conflict and the idea of conflict. So grab your cup. Let's get settled in. Today we're going to talk about conflict and inner conflict and outer conflict, right? Because we absolutely can have both, and sometimes one triggers the other. Sometimes they're connected, right? So how do we deal with conflict? Because a lot of times if we're in the midst of conflict, whether that's inner or outer, we may be dealing with some anxiety, some emotions, perhaps depression will step in, right? So understanding how do we move through conflict, what is the point of conflict, and how do we heal through conflict? Because sometimes as you work through conflict, it may mean a division or a separation, a removal of oneself or a removal of someone in someone's life. So when we have inner conflict, that could be that we're challenging ourselves. Maybe it's something that is out of alignment. So it's either coming out of alignment or in alignment, and we're feeling some struggle around that, right? So it creates that conflict. So for instance, let's say someone really wants you to do something, go somewhere. You really don't want to, but you don't want to say no to them because you don't want to make them feel bad or you don't want to upset them. So that's going to create some conflict, right? Perhaps there's something you're dealing with in the work environment and you're just not happy. You're not happy at the work environment, yet you don't feel confident or in a position to speak up about it, or perhaps look for a new job, right? That could create some conflict. Perhaps you really want to be doing something completely different, but you're so afraid of the finances or the security that it holds you in place, thus creating conflict. So there's a lot of times we have conflict too, especially, even in a partnership, right? Even in a partnership, we may be dealing with conflict because, especially if you're in something and you're set in your ways, relationships are about compromise. Compromise can create conflict, right? So, it's understanding then, all right, I have this conflict. So inner conflict is always, okay? Inner conflict is, and even outer, at least one of the positives, will always result in some form of growth for you. Okay, so it may not be fun, easy. You may create other emotions. Again, maybe severing relationships or situations, but there will be growth from that experience, right? We will grow from that. The conflict comes in so that we can see what we need so that we can come in alignment, okay? And until we're in alignment, that conflict will be there. That conflict will stay there until we sort out what is in alignment. So like I said, it can be very difficult and hard, and you may be hard on yourself around it. Be gentle and kind with yourself, right? Try not to stress too much about something, because a lot of times there's most things we simply can't control. And so when we stress about something, we're putting undue burden upon ourselves. And when we can relax, we will actually have more clarity around it. The other thing is owning your boundaries. Sometimes it's very difficult, especially as an empath and a light worker, to own your boundaries. They're going to be tested and pushed, and so the more you can say, look, this is who I am. And, is there certain ways of not being too set in your ways and being flexible to compromise, but also having your boundaries. So it's that balancing act that we strive to achieve. But when you look at that conflict, write out what that conflict is. Allow yourself to take walks in nature, to sit with it, meditate with it. Try not to, if you're going to bounce ideas off of someone, find someone you really trust. Find someone that is going to be objective and come with positive light and energy, right? We don't want projections, right? Because that's only going to simply irritate that energy around it. And I don't know if that's really going to help you resolve or get down to it. But let's not be afraid of conflict, right? I think so many times people are afraid of speaking up whether for themselves or for someone else. Let's look at where we are, okay? Look at your life and what's going on for you. So where are you facing conflict? Now, the point is again, it could be in your relationship, it could be in your job, it could be with family, it could be friends, it could be just that you're not where you thought you would be or where you want to be or what you want to be doing, right? All of that. It could be unresolved emotions. Are you holding on to something from the past? Is there some resentment there that's creating some inner conflict, or past experiences that are not allowing a freedom to move forward, right? All of this. So remember, as we pull the strings of the conflict, as we start to tug at them, you're going to feel triggered. Okay, you're going to feel triggered. Okay, normal. Again, though, rather than having a reaction of anxiety, depression, aggression, going inwards, hiding, I encourage you to at least just try to sit through it, to really be present with it. A lot of times when we are dealing with something that is of conflict, it's stressful. And a lot of times we just want to hide from the stress. We don't want to deal with the stress, right? You want to make that go away. But when we can sit with it in a place of love, in a place of peace, in a place of understanding, that's going to help you move through it much more quickly. Now, the hardest part, especially if it's with another person, them being open to listening, right? Too many times people just want to shut down and they don't want to listen to one another, or at least listen openly. So when you work with someone else, if it is that, at least try to find a place where both of you can listen and hear one another out and make a decision for yourself. Make a decision. If you're ready to let something go, it's okay. Or if someone's ready to let you go, allow yourself to accept that if that's what's meant to be, right? But fight for what you want to fight for. So it's really listening to what's in alignment. So the more you're in tune with yourself, the more you are in tune with your soul and what your soul desires, what your soul calls for, okay? Listening to that higher self, and it's a quietness inside. So we have to shut down all that outside chatter, okay? When we do that, we know what the soul desires. Then we just kind of focus on coming in with that and just dealing with one conflict at a time. And you can do it. You absolutely can do it. And I feel like, too, the more we speak up for ourselves, the easier it becomes. And the more confident you will feel, and the more in alignment you will become. Okay? So that is our Coffee with Colby for today. Couple things, just letting you know, Thursday starts our spiritual business mentoring. So if if you're ready, like, hey, I'm ready to shift, I'm ready to do something different, I'm really ready to start working on my spiritual business, even if you don't have it exactly down or what it looks like, it's still the perfect time to plan it. Join me. We come together, we have a great time, and you really get pushed, right? You get pushed for sure, but it really is a way to have that support and to have that expertise to really help you build that foundation or take those next steps, that next level, okay? We have the Psychic Pet Night coming up too, where I'm really excited to do the pet psychic and mediumship readings. And of course, I think you saw I'm doing an event with Joe Shield, who is really one of the most amazing mediums around. So there's so much going on. Just check out colbyrebel.com, check out the events, see what's going on, come join me, and I can't wait to see you guys. But until then, shine your light and shine it bright, and much love to you guys. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.